That Christmas Eve, I dug so deep into the frozen ground, I was beyond exhausted, just like every other guy in my unit. I wondered how I'd find the strength to scoop out even one more handful of dirt. I guess it was the hate in my heart that fueled me. We hated the enemy. We had to. How else could we look another man in the eyes and cut him down? That hate grew so big, sometimes it was the only thing that kept a man warm at night. The deeper I dug, the colder it got. Winter Earth. There's just nothing colder. Except maybe wet snow, which is what happened next. My men would be frozen to the bone in no time. We didn't dare make a fire. We knew the enemy was just the other side of the gully. Our rations had fallen low, and my ankle throbbed where I damn near twisted it clear off in the last skirmish. My smokes were all but gone, and I knew they were all thinking the same thing I was. One more battle and we'd be wiped out. My blood ran cold. We were outnumbered at least 2-1, maybe more, and miles from reinforcements. Was this it then? I looked up into the sky, blinking as icy snowflakes pelted my face. They looked like tiny missiles coming out of nowhere, out of the dark nothingness that was the sky. I closed my eyes, hoping for a reprieve from my battered thoughts, sleep being the only mercy left to us. I must have dozed off, because the next thing I remember, I heard the soft strumming of a guitar as it drifted across the gully from the other side. I opened my eyes, or maybe I was still sleeping. All I know is that I saw the snowflakes disappear one by one, replaced by stars that winked, filling the black, inky sky with red and purple, blue, green, and silver. I lay back listening to the soft strains, staring as the heavens grew brighter, and I watched some of the bigger stars draw near to the earth, glowing golden white as if they were angels. Star angels? I rubbed the back of my fist across my eyes, convinced I was still sleeping. The guitar sounded bolder now. I didn't know the tune, but one of the guys in my company did. He began to sing in a strong baritone. I couldn't place who it was. I just knew it was one of our guys. I felt a heavy responsibility to stop him. But I just didn't have the heart. It was as if every living thing ever created was listening, hanging on to every note. He stumbled over the words a couple of times, and some guy from the enemy camp across the gully joined in. What if the world were full of light, and every smile in sheer delight sparkled exquisitely bright? What if the songs we sang inspired joy instead of pain, even if, like this moment, we're standing in the rain? What if no one ever went hungry? What if our path was smooth, not bumpy, and we stopped living like Humpty Dumpty? What if trees glowed in the night, gently lit by the soft moonlight? And what if the wind didn't bite? And dark became a thing of the past, something that lifted as morning amassed, as the sun passed the moon in brilliant contrast. And dark never returned for more than a moment, filling the sky with color so potent, inspiring thoughts amazingly cogent, that hearts so long burdened with fear exploded in wonder and joyous cheers, filling souls with hope and eyes with tears, and peace reigned throughout the coming years. Look, I know it sounds crazy, But the longer I stared at the sky listening to that baritone, the more convinced I was that the star angels were singing along too. And then I heard Shorty begin to harmonize, and some of the other guys joined in until it was impossible to tell where all the voices were coming from. Men started crawling out of their holes on both sides of the gully, bringing their guitars, harmonicas. I think one guy even had a flute. We set about making a giant bonfire, and I could see at a glance that although there were more of them, they were at least as bad off as we were, maybe more. The only gunshots heard that day were the hunters we dispatched, who went out and brought down stags. Together we worked side by side, skinning the venison and roasting it over the fire. I looked into the eyes of my enemies that day, wondering if, after sharing this moment of Christmas peace, I'd ever be able to kill one of them again. And the words of that song, sung by men who were sworn enemies and joined by angels, kept going through my brain. Well, I made a promise to myself that day. I vowed that if I ever got to the other side of that war alive, I would never lift my hand against another again. Well, some days I've kept that promise better than others. But I re-up every year. And here it is, Christmas again. Time to recommit. So here goes. Say it with me if you feel like it. What if the world were full of light, and every smile in sheer delight sparkled exquisitely bright? What if the songs we sang inspired joy instead of pain, even if, like this moment, we're standing in the rain? What if no one ever went hungry? What if our path was smooth, not bumpy, and we stopped living like Humpty Dumpty? What if trees glowed in the night, gently lit by the soft moonlight? And what if the wind didn't bite? And dark became a thing of the past, something that lifted as morning amassed, as the sun passed the moon in brilliant contrast. And dark never returned for more than a moment, filling the sky with colors so potent, inspiring thoughts amazingly cogent, that hearts so long burdened with fear exploded in wonder and joyous cheers, filling souls with hope and eyes with tears, and peace reigned throughout the coming years.